Instead of you hearing my story, it's nice to hear somebody else's story, right? So, family story. So thank you. I'm honored to invite Delia and James up here, and thank you for bringing so many people's attention to what we're doing and the mission to change people's lives. So thank you very much.
Okay, hi everyone, I'm Delia, and we came to Dr. Phil's back in January, and it's been 8 months, and I'm still learning as I go now. I think the whole passion about it is what draws me in, because it is a community that we're trying to get the word out, and once you kind of have this knowledge, there's no going back, and you want to spread it. I'm totally one of those people who thought that health meant feeling good. So I wasn't going to Dr. Phil because I had any problems. There was an interesting seminar on losing weight and nutrition and what to eat, and I'm interested in health, so I thought I was going for that. Totally oblivious to my spinal cord health and the fact that I actually did experience some sort of pain, but I was just not even registering it. So we came to Dr. Phil, and we really enjoyed that first seminar, and we decided, sure, we're going to take this challenge, and it was the nutrition was the big focus out of the 5 essentials. So for that month, we focused on nutrition, and we started reading the books that are available. And the cruise ship book that is the first one, I don't know how many people have shoved it into their hands and said, you've got to read this, because it's full of testimonials. And like Dr. Phil said, when you hear the real life stories, you really just, it speaks to you. So we start reading it and learning a lot about the stuff that we shouldn't be eating and what's causing issues. And then of course you go in for your exam and they take a picture of my spine, and it was a shock to me just how crooked my spine was, and I had all kinds of areas that needed fixing. James got a straighter, nice little curve to his, he's in better shape than I am, but it's really, to me, being able to see the science behind the health. So you learn a lot at the seminars, you learn a lot about what you should be eating, you learn about how you should be exercising. There's just every single area there's something new to learn. And it's married with science. So there's the x-ray. It's not just someone talking to you and suggesting all this. You can actually apply it to what your x-ray looks like and how you're feeling through the adjustments. So you start going for these adjustments, and he's working on my neck, which lo and behold, before I was going to a chiropractor because I was having issues with my neck. So I was stuck at work and I'd have to turn my whole body, and people are like, are you okay? And I'm like, no, I don't know what's going on, but my neck is stiff. And like Dr. Phil said, it took that long. I was definitely in pain and I couldn't turn my neck and had to keep going for massages and trying to go to a chiropractor that doesn't have one of those magical drop tables that these guys have. So I was like, you're not touching my neck. I don't like, I'm scared. So I couldn't get adjusted properly, and the massages would help very minimally. So it was continual that I was going back. And then when I walked into Dr. Phil's office, I just could not believe the difference. I was allowed to lay down on a drop table, and they said, how was that? What are you talking about? Did you even touch my neck? I don't even feel it. So that trust builds, and suddenly I'm never again having this issue where I can't turn my neck. So that was the very first, I can turn my neck and I'm not getting stuck when I'm driving and all that. So huge relief there. And then, of course, the month was all about nutrition and dropping weight. Well, I've hit those terrible, you're in midlife, well into my 40s, and I'm like, well, I guess I'm stuck, so you fight, I'm not the same size I used to be, but that's okay, I'm over 40, everybody does, right? And then I start Dr. Phil's nutrition plan, and it's wild, because I'm starting to lose a little bit of weight. Okay, well, I've lost 7 pounds, that's pretty good, not bad. And then I sort of plateau there. Well, you just continue along, you're still eating well. he's continuing with the adjustments, and then it was like boom, and all of a sudden the weight it was falling off me. And there was no other explanation than that EIS scan that he was talking about, that crystal ball. It pinpointed that my thyroid was off because of my neck curve, because that's one of the ones that speaks to your thyroid. And when your thyroid is off, your metabolism is affected. So I could be doing backflips and exercising all the time. I could be eating nothing, but I'd still have that gain of weight on me. So suddenly, between the adjustments and eating properly, I'm like, okay, this is crazy. Now the weight's falling off, and I'm actually back to what I used to be 20 years ago, and I'm feeling like myself. It just felt like, now this is me. Like, this is my weight. And too bad I threw out all those clothes and ditched them finally after years of fighting it. You know, did the whole clean out the closet thing. Didn't need to. Now all my next size up, but they've got to go, and I'm back to my old clothes. So that's been an absolute pleasure. And then besides that, so to me, going to Dr. Phil has just been completely life-altering, because you're in a different place. Your understanding is completely different, and doing it with my husband has been an awesome thing, because the two of us have, you rely on each other, and you bounce the ideas off each other, and you support each other, and that's been a huge help. And brought our kids in to get adjusted too, and even they're all teenagers, and I'm not going in, and all that kind of attitude came out. Well, you know what? They sat through at least one of the doctor's reports. One of them came to one of the community dinners, and as much as they don't want to admit it, they started to say, hey, Mom, look at this. This bread's made with only a few ingredients. It's pretty good. And I'm like, okay, so, they talk the talk, but they're actually doing, to me, it's so great, because I didn't know all this until I was well into my 40s, that my spine looked the way it did. And believe me, I 6 years ago went to my family doctor and said, my mom had osteo, I think you better check. And they did x-rays. I have lower back pain, I don't know what's going on. They did it all, and they just kept saying, you're fine, you're fine, you're fine. But I knew I wasn't 100%, but I just figured, oh, it's getting old. It's something. Well, now I feel like that's it. We're on the cruise ship. And I went to a family reunion on the weekend. This is terrible, but I went to the family reunion, saw all my relatives, and I said to James when we got home, wow, that's kind of sad. Like, we're the only ones that look great. Everybody else is, they're all putting on weight, and they're looking old. And I don't feel like that anymore, and maybe that comes through. I don't know, but we're pushing 50, and I'm feeling like the world is ours, and we're gonna do what we're gonna do, because I'm not gonna be stiff anymore getting out of the car to meet my girlfriend 2 hours away, and she would say to me, well, are you all right? Because I felt like a little old woman. I'd be hobbling out. Well, with those adjustments, there's a huge change in not just how your back is feeling that day, but I think in the whole mental state of your body, your brain's starting to talk, and things are going well. And I just feel like we're continuing on this journey, and we keep learning, and we're going to do it for life.
Because education is power, and once you educate yourself on all of this, the maximized living, Dr. Phil, Dr. Ummer, it's not a gimmick. It's not something that, oh, here, take this magic pill, take this powder, and everything's going to be good. This is real. It's real science. It's real health, and it puts you right back in. I spent many years in full contact sports. I love my contact sports. I competed in kickboxing full contact right up until I was in my 40s. And it started to get sore. But my body I always felt my body. I always knew it was there. My back, I always felt that. Within a little under 2 weeks of going to see Dr. Phil, it was gone. I couldn't believe it. We did it. The reason we actually read the book was we went on a big drive to Sudbury, and we went around, and it was an 8-hour trip, and not once did I have to adjust my back. And when I got home, I was like, geez, I didn't even think about it anymore. Right now, the weight, I didn't go to Dr. Phil because I felt I had a weight problem or anything like that. I thought things were great.
For him. I thought you had a weight.
But I'm down almost 40 pounds without even trying. Not even I'm working out. I don't watch calories, I don't watch fat. Our house is just full of good food now. And I eat as much as I want. There's going to be guys out there, people out there who are afraid, oh my God, I got to give up this, I got to give up that. But the food is great. You're just going to get used to it. Once you educate yourself and understand that, then you're going to understand that, hey, you know what? This food does taste good, and it's doing me good. You know, you'll feel 100%. And like I say, Phil's not paying me to come up here and stand, and I come up here every single night and stand up here and talk to you guys for Phil, because I believe in this guy, 110%. You know, he's not a gimmick. What he's trying to do is not a gimmick, and he's not selling you nothing. Well, okay, he's selling you a little bit of chiropractic stuff, but you know, everybody's entitled to make a little bit of money. But he's not trying to sell you anything that is not going to make you better.
I think what James is saying, it comes from his heart, and I think
for sure, Dr.
from
Phil,
the whole office, the whole team it
Yeah.
comes from your heart, and I think that's the way it has to be. And it was truly something to learn that for our health, it's true. Why would you do the oil changes on your car? Why do you put that effort in to keep everything running, but we're not doing it for ourselves, right? So once you start to care about your health and you know that these people are doing it for the right reasons, it's easy.
Educate yourself. Like seriously, educate yourself and understand the whole sugar thing too. That's a big thing. I'm not going to go over all that. Read the books. Read the books. But
we're very
have an
grateful.
understanding. Educate yourself, and it'll just work miracles for you guys. And you know,
We've got
if
lots
there's
of
something that
clients
you're missing out on tonight, then just really stick to it, because eventually it'll all start to make sense to you. Even if you're not getting it right now, stick with it, do it. It's honestly, I tell everybody about it, and it's not anything for me to make money off of. It's not for, I don't get anything out of it but good health, right? And I want to share it. I want to tell my friends. I want to tell my family, because it's amazing, and it's so simple. And Dr. Phil right at the beginning said, why are we not, why is the government not implementing this? Well, in one, first of all, it's probably population control. Because imagine if everybody lives to be 100, this whole world. And imagine if they got rid of all the medication and everything too. The economy would just crash right away. Because there's so many billions of dollars out there that are just being sunk into population control. And that's all there is to it.
Making money.
But educate yourself and don't be blind to what's out there anymore, and understand it.
And go
counterculture.
Go. Let's all be rebels and get healthy.
Anyway.
But thank you.
Come on, chicken dinner. Where's the chicken dinner?